Happening now, the warning from police in Jamestown about fraudsters online and how fake posts are impacting their department. And 2 Western New York residents have filed a lawsuit against new state gun laws restricting concealed carry. Plus, our local sheriff is getting ready to race other lawmen and women from across New York. A look at the program this high-speed event benefits.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, a recent string of false claims in Facebook groups have caught the attention of our local police department, who's now warning against giving credit to these posters. Alyssa Wright is hearing from those with the Jamestown Police Department who have received numerous complaints and questions about posts circulating on social media regarding mis or dangerous information about individuals, children's jobs, and even pets.
So we've had a lot of complaints about different Facebook pages, Facebook groups, and different accounts in general making posts and claims about a whole assortment of different topics. Some are wanted or dangerous individuals that are on the loose, that are a threat to the public or people in general. We've had posts about missing children. We've had posts about found children, where they'll include a picture of a child. We've had posts with houses that are for sale or for rent that don't even exist, not only in the city of Jamestown, but maybe anywhere.
So far, these posts are appearing in local buy, sell, and trade groups.
We had a few different posts in the same group or by the same people that deal with found pets or lost pets and trying to either get people to help them try to find them, or they're soliciting phone numbers.
The department has tried reporting the groups to no avail.
We've tried to report the groups, and we encourage people to report the posts when they see them. However, we ask that you don't report our posts about them because we've had issues with our own posts getting flagged for the invalidity of what is the contents of it.
Police say posts like these are dangerous to the public.
The biggest concern is that you can instill fear in the public and the citizens if people keep seeing posts about wanted or dangerous individuals, whether it pertains to the subject targeting somebody in particular or not. It can cause fear.
The best thing you can do, Officer Matthew Reinhardt explains, is to report and follow up with your local police department.
Perhaps if you have a question, send us an email, send the Facebook page a message, or try to get some further information on it.
Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
Alyssa, thank you. If you have any questions about the validity of a post you might see, officers urge you to take a screenshot of that post and give the department a call at 716-483-7536. A wanted Jamestown man was taken into custody after allegedly fleeing police through the Chautauqua River. The Jamestown Police Department responded to a residence on Hopkins Avenue yesterday for a reported domestic dispute. Now, following an investigation, police determined 41-year-old Michael Newman had outstanding warrants for his arrest. Newman, police say, fled on foot through the Chautauqua and a nearby wooded area. He was later arrested without incident inside of a nearby building. And a 42-year-old man is accused of harassing a juvenile here in Chautauqua County. Deputies with the Sheriff's Office responded to a past tense harassment call in the town of Ellery around 9 o'clock last night. Following an investigation, it's alleged that William Michael II harassed a person under the age of 17 during the evening hours. Michael was located and taken into custody. He faces several charges. 2 Western New York residents have filed a lawsuit against a new state gun law restricting concealed carry. Back on September 1st, the new law went into effect, expanding the number of sensitive and restricted locations where guns could be carried, like schools, daycares, libraries, and restaurants that serve alcohol. Plaintiffs of the suit claim that this new law designating goes too far beyond any constitutional relevant historical justification. Now, locally, a push to help easily identify businesses who would welcome concealed carry practices is underway here in Chautauqua County. We told you about this last week. The sheriff's office has printed new posters businesses or private residents can now place on their windows, acknowledging the new law and their stance that welcomes concealed carry. Well, according to data from AAA, drivers in western New York continue to see gas prices fall. However, Chautauqua County's average price remains high compared to stations around the state. Now, as of Monday, New York saw the average price for a gallon of gas drop more significantly than prices nationwide. The Empire State's average is $3.78. That's down 11 cents from last week. Nationwide, the average price is $3.68, down only 4 cents from the week before. In Chautauqua County, the average price for a gallon of gas is now $3.90. That's 12 cents more than the statewide average we're seeing today. 2 weeks ago, the average price was $4.01 here. Cattaraugus County, meanwhile, according to AAA, is 6 cents lower than the state average today at $3.84. Overall, gas prices do remain higher than this time last year. Well, now let's switch gears a little bit as we get a first check of our weather forecast. Here's a live look now over the HD News Now cam in downtown Jamestown, where we've seen a couple of rain showers out there. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us live now in studio with another one of the great camera shots we have around the region, and they're all pretty much painting the same story, Dakota, that it's raining out there today.
Yes, it is. It is just going to be another day of rain out there, but this is well-needed rain that we have needed here. The Randolph Peaches and Cream Skycam showing you the rain that is falling on through. So here's First Defense Doppler over the past 5 hours. This is that band of showers and thunderstorms that came through this morning. Those polygons you see popping up are the special weather statements that the National Weather Service issued, and those were mainly for maybe some brief gusty winds as they move through, but notice the lightning counter there. Lots of lightning strikes occurred with those storms. Now, there is a low-end marginal risk, 1 out of 5, for at least a couple gusty thunderstorms through this afternoon. The threat today is not all that high, but we'll keep our eyes on it. The main severe weather threat comes later in the week. We'll tell you about that in the full weather segment later on. 76 was the high yesterday, started the day at 62, 89, and 30 are the records. So through the afternoon, mostly cloudy to overcast, occasional showers and thunderstorms. Some could contain some heavy downpours, 68 to 75, with an overall southwest wind. Now Thursday starts fall, and we are going to ring it in style. We'll talk about it with the Ultimate Satellite Solution 7-day forecast later on in the show. Justin.
All right, Dakota, we'll see you back in just a little bit as we continue the latest on a shots fired incident at a popular mall in our region. We'll tell you what we know. And later, with hunting season just around the corner, many might be looking to hit the outdoors, and they could be worried about chronic wasting disease impacting local deer. We break down the threat here in New York State. Stay with us. WNY News Now is back right after this.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than Deweyes Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on Deweyes Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. Deweyes Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The Mill Creek Mall in Erie, Pennsylvania is expected to be back open for business later today. That's after a gunfire incident there on Sunday that had shoppers and workers looking for cover. It all started around 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon with a report of a fight in the food court and then a single gunshot. Mill Creek police say no one was hit by the bullet, but there was some blood from the fight, with one of the individuals involved suffering facial injuries in that fight. That unnamed person was taken to the hospital. Investigators say it was an altercation among juveniles in the food court. They say it was not a random act. They caught one person near the Men's Warehouse store outside of the mall and took a second person into custody as well. We've learned police also recovered a gun.
We were serving coffee, a fight broke out. A girl walked up to us and started screaming, asking us to get mall security. Then we heard a gunshot. The shift leader actually put us in the back. We all turned out the lights, we sat down, we were trying to comfort each other. It's sad what the world's coming to.
Yeah, again, nobody hurt there, thankfully, when that shot was fired. Police questioning some people, but so far there's no official word as of any arrests. Governor Kathy Hochul and Senator Kirsten Gillibrand recently expanded eligibility for a second round of federally funded stabilization grants for child care providers and families. Our New York Capitol correspondent Elise Klein talked to Education Trust Network about how this funding will impact New York child care providers and eventually families.
Starting on the first of the new year, New York child care providers and families will become eligible for a second round of federally funded stabilization grants. The funding will include families earning up to 300% of the poverty level, which extends eligibility to an estimated 394,000 young children throughout New York. Providers in child care programs that were licensed by January 1st, 2022 can apply for these grants now to receive funding in 2023.
What this will actually do is provide child care providers with necessary resources to keep their doors open.
Bryant added that child care providers can use the stabilization grants to do anything they need to do in their business, from purchasing curriculum and buying new day-to-day supplies to supporting the cost of their mortgage or rent. According to a recent report from the Alliance for Quality Education, the child care infrastructure in New York is in crisis. Many parents do not have access to affordable quality care, and many child care providers earn below the minimum wage. Bryant said that until wages improve, this type of funding and stabilization grants will be essential.
We're making sure that New Yorkers, New York families, are not left out in the cold any longer.
The stabilization grants will ultimately reach what are known as childcare deserts in New York. This means there are areas in New York where there is not high-quality care available for New Yorkers.
These types of grants support providers with staying open, and ultimately that actually supports infants, toddlers, and their families.
In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News.
Elise, thank you. New York is warning consumers to be aware of scams tied to federal student loan debt relief. The governor's office says scammers are creating a sense of urgency by posting as government agencies and then promising immediate student loan relief. The following tips are recommended. First, be sure to seek trusted sources of information like a .gov site. Next, don't trust any person or program who promises you that early access because it's not available right now. And finally, don't give out your personal information. In the end, if you were to encounter a scam, officials say the best thing to do is report it and ignore it. Well, with hunting season just around the corner, many are looking to hit the outdoors, and they might be worried about chronic wasting disease, a death sentence for deer, elk, and moose across North America. As WNY's Kurt Montone reports, the disease is spread mostly through urine, feces, and saliva.
For deer that have become infected, it is always fatal.
Kevin Hines is a wildlife biologist with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation.
So it makes it very difficult to control this disease because you've got the environmental contamination that's there for 15 years or so. You've got deer-to-deer contact where they're shedding this virus in their saliva, so deer are very often licking each other. and they all kind of congregate in the same areas, so they're exposed to each other's feces and urine. It is a nightmare of a disease to try to control once you have it.
Symptoms of CWD include loss of balance, loss of appetite, uncontrollable drooling, and loss of the deer's fear of people, but they don't show in deer until 2 to 3 years after being infected.
You're probably unlikely to see that on the landscape because the deer would be either taken by a predator or die from getting hit by a car or taken by a hunter prior to that happening.
While New York currently doesn't have a known case of chronic wasting disease, Pennsylvania does, with several herds of both captive and wild deer infected.
It would be nice to put up a fence between areas that are infected and areas that are not. So there's not a heck of a lot we can practically do about that kind of situation.
The state can't control how deer move around, but they can help control the actions of people. Since 2005, New York has banned the importation of captive deer from out of state. They've also banned hunters from bringing whole deer carcasses into New York from another state. It's unlikely that a deer taken in New York has CWD, but Cornell University will test deer killed in the state for the disease for $65 per head. Reporting, I'm Kurt Martone, WENY News.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. Coming up next, our local sheriff, he's getting ready to race lawmen and women from across New York. A look at the program this high-speed event benefits. And later, the British monarch is laid to rest today. We have the latest from London. But first, Dakota joins us once again with a full look at our weather forecast and how long these rain showers will be sticking around.
When severe weather breaks, one team has you covered, tracking the storms as they happen. Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights,
Vests.
please give us some room.
slow down.
Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
to help you,
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger.
This danger is real.
Do your part.
Please
Slow down.
Slow down.
And move over.
move over.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back, everybody. How about the rain so far today? 0.29 inches is what we've gauged at the airport so far today. We're going to have a little bit more as we go throughout the afternoon hours and especially over the next several days. Look at the chance of rain here. Chance of rain up to 90%. We do get a dry day tomorrow, but then Wednesday and Thursday will be 2 days where we're going to see some more rain. Now, Wednesday, there is a severe potential. That's looking like the better chance for at least a couple strong to severe thunderstorms on Wednesday afternoon. It's raining downtown right now. The HD News Now cam sitting at cool 62 degrees, but that dew point at 62 doesn't really make it feel that much better. That's also creating some fog. 5 miles is the current visibility at the airport, which is just north of the city. There's the severe weather outlook for today. Still under that marginal risk for this afternoon for at least a couple gustier thunderstorms. But the main threat with storms today is really going to be heavy rainfall. And we'll show you the rainfall totals here in a second. But this is the severe weather outlook for Wednesday. Notice the Storm Prediction Center has pretty much all of the southern tier and much of northwestern PA under that yellow. That a slight risk. That's a level 2 out of 5. And this is going to be the more substantial risk. This is where we could be getting into some damaging wind gusts, maybe some large hail, and definitely some heavy rain as well. We'll keep you updated on the forecast on that tomorrow as we get new model data in. We'll show you the timing on that. So first defense Doppler radar, a lot of the rain has now pushed off to the east, but notice we're still dealing with a few showers, mainly across Panama and Chautauqua Lake going up into Gary, Lakewood as well, getting a little bit of something as well. So those are just light showers at the moment, all sparked out ahead of this cold front that's going to move on through. Notice that area of high pressure back there. It's a weak area. It will in, but it's not going to last very long, as you saw in that chance of rain graphic. So future scan covered in green through the afternoon hours today. We are going to see a few more scattered showers, maybe a couple more rumbles of thunder through the afternoon hours. Tonight, we should go partly to mainly clear through the overnight hours. Now, this particular model tries to spark up a couple isolated showers by morning tomorrow. Wouldn't rule that out, but I think much of tomorrow is going to be dry. Notice by the time we go in the afternoon, it clears away all those green blobs. Now, as we run the model through tomorrow morning, here comes our next chance of rain. This is ahead of the next system. So again, we are going to see rain showers coming in by Wednesday morning, but the severe threat's going to come Wednesday afternoon. Forecast rainfall totals here coming off the computer modeling. This goes through Wednesday at 8 in the morning. We could be picking up close to an inch. Now, I will say this particular model does tend to open the rain totals a little bit, so maybe knock just a little bit off these totals a little bit, but you're getting the idea. Some heavy downpours could be possible. Now the next 7 days, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So a seasonable day tomorrow, 74. We highlight Wednesday in red because of that severe potential, 79. Fall starts on Thursday, Justin, and look at that. 58, 57, that's fall-like air. Maybe the sweaters on Friday, partial sun on Saturday, and just a few scattered showers, Justin, by next Sunday.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some people kick their heat on at 41.
Woo, maybe.
Dakota, thank you. Well, let's get some headlines from across the nation. In Puerto Rico now seeing catastrophic flooding in the wake of Hurricane Fiona. That's according to the National Hurricane Center. Its acting director says he's not sure if he's ever seen rivers rise as quickly here in the U.S. The center says parts of Puerto Rico could see up to 30 inches of rain by the time the storm's over. Power has been out on the entire island. Now, the 5-year anniversary of Hurricane Maria hitting Puerto Rico is Tuesday. The island received billions of dollars in federal funding for its electrical grid after that storm. Power officials say the system is now better equipped, but it still is frail. Now, one FEMA official says the agency has learned from Maria. It has 4 warehouses around the island with food, water, and generators, and a federal emergency declaration before the storm. Mobilization of about 300-plus agency employees has also taken place. Well, the United States and Taliban exchanged prisoners today. Mark Frenchis from Illinois was kidnapped in January 2020. The Navy veteran was in Afghanistan at the time doing contract work. He disappeared weeks before the U.S. and Taliban signed a peace deal. Authorities believe he was taken by the Haqqani network, which has links to the Taliban. President Joe Biden called his sister to let her know her brother is now on his way back to the U.S. The Taliban received Hadi Muhammad Bizr, who was held in the U.S. on custody for drug charges. Well, Queen Elizabeth II was laid to rest today. Thousands of people lined the streets to say a final goodbye to their late monarch. Details for the royal funeral have been in the planning stages for years now. Inside Westminster Hall, dozens of royal dignitaries and members of the royal family fill the Abbey. Riley Carlson has the details from London.
A somber day for the United Kingdom as the world says goodbye to a queen whose reign spanned 7 decades, the longest reigning monarch in British history.
Let us give thanks
for Queen Elizabeth's commitment to the Commonwealth throughout her reign.
Westminster Abbey's tenor bell chiming once a minute for 96 minutes, marking each year of Queen Elizabeth II's life. Then London going quiet as the nation takes a moment of silence to honor the late Queen. Details for Monday's funeral have been in the planning stages for years, each moment well thought out and with the Queen's input.
The grief of this day, felt not only by the late Queen's family, but all round the nation, the Commonwealth and the world, arises from her abundant life and loving service, now gone from us.
Roughly 2,000 people are in attendance from world leaders, including President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden, and members of the royal family. Security in the British capital at its highest level. Following the service, the Queen makes her final journey out of London to Windsor Castle, where she will be laid to rest next to her husband of 73 years, Prince Philip. In London, I'm Riley Carlson reporting.
Riley, thank you. Next, our local sheriff getting ready to raise lawmen and women from across New York State. A look at the program this high-speed event benefits when we come back.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Welcome back. Chautauqua County's own Sheriff Jim Quattrone will be competing in a special fundraiser next month called the Sheriff Showdown, where the lawmen will face off against other sheriffs here in New York as part of a race at Watkins Glen International. Our Julia Gress reports.
The first year was pre-COVID, and that was actually a competition with the mounted patrol on horseback. But this day and age, not too many of us sheriffs are able to ride horses. I've never been on one. So this year, we've decided to do something that we've all done before, is driven a car. And we were able to partner with Watkins Glen International, and we're going to have an opportunity to race.
Sheriff Jim Quattrone will compete in a race against 26 other sheriffs from around the state to raise money for the Sheriff's Summer Camp at Cayuga Lake. The camp provides more than 800 disadvantaged or high-risk youths ages 9 through 12 each year with the opportunity to experience summer camp at no cost to their families. Last year, 15 kids from Chautauqua County were able to attend.
Not only the relationships with the law enforcement, but it's relationships with other campers, really working with the campers to build confidence and that confidence, working in team efforts. And, there's typical camp. They have a lot of water activities. It's right on the lake.
Quattrone sees this camp as an opportunity for campers to make lifelong friends and to introduce law enforcement as a career field.
We need to start showing them the great career field that this is. And it's an opportunity to give back to your community, an opportunity to help individuals. And that's the ideal thing.
Donations can be made before the showdown on October 13th and can be sent to the county sheriff's office or directly to New York State Sheriff's Institute.
Knowing Chautauqua County and the generosity we see in Chautauqua County, the other challenge I've put out there is to have Chautauqua County contribute the most to the camp. And I'm setting a goal of $20,000 from Chautauqua County, and we're just under halfway there now. So I think we can achieve that.
Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Certainly. Julia, thank you very much. And it's great to see such an amazing program to give back. And I think it's pretty interesting how the sheriff is able to maybe connect that to the next generation of law enforcement, not just here, but across New York State, right? You have a positive experience with it. Maybe you'll want to join in. Who knows, become a pilot. I saw the sheriff's copter in there, so certainly what a great thing to do. Well, that is it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We'll leave you with this live look outside of our studio in Jamestown. Have a great day.